it is a great morning. Welcome, everyone. My name is Happy Haynes, and I want to thank you for being here on this glorious morning. I am honored to serve as the Executive Director of the Department of Parks and Recreation for Denver, and I want to acknowledge a few people who are here this morning, elected officials. I know we have Councilman Brooks, Albus Brooks, behind me. Councilman Wayne New is here. Wave your hand, Wayne. I'm very excited to welcome all of you here this morning. Today is a great day, and it represents the determination of many people to build a state-of-the-art recreation center in an area of the city where there's been a gap in services. It's been underserved for many years. So today represents the continued effort to build on the vibrancy of this great city, especially along the East Colfax corridor. With this groundbreaking today, we start the final phase of this project. Denver is experiencing one of the most dynamic moments in its history. And it's the result of the hard work of residents of Denver and employees to create a truly vibrant city. And the first folks that we have to say thank you to are the voters of Denver, who in 2007 overwhelmingly supported the Denver Better Bond program. Let's give them a hand, yes. And with the funds from the Better Bond program, this allowed the city to enhance and construct facilities all across this city that enriched and enhanced the lives of its residents. Thank you to Denver's voters. As a result, we had the funds and were able to acquire much of the land for this recreation center. So I want to take a few moments and acknowledge some of the people who have worked so hard and were instrumental in bringing this idea to fruition finally. The gleam in former Councilwoman Jeanne Robb's eyes is now a reality today. And these folks were determined, These folks were determined to build the new Central Denver Recreation Center. First, I want to thank the real heart and the leadership of this, former Councilwoman Jeanne Robb and Councilman Albus Brooks, who together really brought amazing support and leadership to this effort, and as were especially fierce advocates for the financing of this center. I want to thank also the members of the Central Denver Recreation Center stakeholder group. Please raise your hands, those of you who served on that. Thank you. They are the ones who really helped to steer this ship. They not only attended many meetings at 7:30 in the morning, but they dutifully represented the surrounding neighborhoods, the businesses, and our schools. They worked through tough questions, and I can tell you, many of you still are getting questions from the community. There's not a question that you've heard that stakeholder group didn't hear and wrestle with during the planning of this process. They worked through those questions and helped to find a good balance for this dynamic site. And I especially want to thank our Denver Parks and Recreation staff and our Public Works staff. They have diligently carried this project forward. Thanks to, and I want you guys to raise your hands when I call your names, thanks to Brett Honenkamp, where's Brett? All right, in the back. Brandon Gainey, Mike in the back. See, the people who do the hardest work always stand in the back for some reason, I don't know why. Michael Sheehan and David Hunsinger, all from Public Works. Thank you so much. From the Parks and Recreation Camp, I want to thank Jeru Parikh. Raise your hand. Gordon Robertson, Dodie Erickson, I saw Dodie, there she is, John Martinez, and Scott Gilmore. This facility will be a state-of-the-art recreation center and will complement our other wonderful 27 recreation centers. We are very proud of our parks and recreation system and the role that these recreation centers play in our community. They serve as a place to stay active and healthy. They provide arts and culture, and they provide a gathering place for people in the community to convene. So I want to tell you today, or share with you, that the petition in support of naming the recreation center in honor of former Councilwoman Carla Madison was discussed during a public hearing on October 8th, and the naming ordinance is scheduled to be presented to the Infrastructure and Culture Committee of the Denver City Council on Wednesday, December 2nd. So this is an exciting project for Denver Parks and Recreation, and I want to thank all of you for being here today. And I want to acknowledge a couple of additional people. I thought I saw Councilman Espinosa, Rafael Espinosa. There he is. Thank you very much. Councilman Paul Cashman is here. Thank you for being here, Councilman. Councilwoman Robin Kanish is here. Thank you very much. My partner, Jose Cornejos from Public Works, is here. The mayor's chief of staff, Janice Sinden, is here. Thank you very much. Thank you all for being here. And now I want to turn it over to a person who has really been for one thing, is a force of nature in her own right, but has truly been an extraordinary force and advocate for this project, and that is former Councilwoman Jeanne Robb.
Well, I don't know. I wore my workout clothes. I thought it was opening today. What is it? It was 2 years ago this January we were here announcing it. So it's time to go. I'm really excited. I even walked up here to see what the full experience would be like for citizens, retired citizens of District 10. I am just so excited. And I don't know where to begin. I mentioned I'm a senior. I guess that's why they told me to talk about the history of the project. This goes back long before 2003 when Mayor Hancock and I were first elected to council. It goes back probably before Kathy Donahue, but in my memory, because that's about all the further I can remember, Councilwoman Donahue talked about the need for a rec center in this area. Councilman Thomas looked all around and, like our early committee did, looked at Congress Park, which had its strengths and weaknesses in terms of the way people really like to preserve their park open space. And then things really came together after we did the Colfax plan, where we talked about this whole corner with East High School, with the Lowenstein, with the L2 Event Center, being a civic part of Colfax. And we went through a long process when we got the money to buy the property for this $11 million dog park, as it was once known. We went through a long process of analyzing numerous sites. I think we had 8 that we looked at. And I won't deny my intense desire that it be located here. And I need to thank so many people, people I'm looking at right now, department heads under both Hickenlooper and Hancock, for working on envisioning this. We went through lots of renditions. It could have been down on 16th. We could have had housing on the site. We didn't buy the corner, which was a brilliant move. until the Hancock administration came in and saw the need for that. And that moved the rec center up to this corner, and you've all seen the design, which is fantastic. It's such a complex site, and so I'm going to echo Park Director's comments to the stakeholders. We were trying to satisfy the mixed use ideas for Colfax and really mandates. We were trying to build the first urban center. We're trying to serve a diverse group of people, from seniors to the young people, future users who are here today. It's so fun to see all of the kids who are here. We were trying to be a little funky like Colfax. We were trying to think of the things Carla Madison would want. And I should thank Obra and Carla, and especially Councilman Brooks, who will speak next. We were trying to relate to East High School and to City Park. It's just a great site, but it's a challenge. But the best things come out of the greatest challenges. So I'm really excited about this and very happy to introduce Councilman Brooks, who, boy, he got in and the first thing he said to me is, we got to get that sign down saying rec center or we got to build it.
Let me take my glasses off because you can't trust a politician with glasses. So, I'm excited today. I know this is just an announcement. We're about to break ground, but you guys are looking out here like you're not excited. First of all, the Broncos had an excellent game last night. Come on. I see you in your orange. I see you. And I ain't talking about the construction workers. But this is exciting. This is, in 2011 when I ran for office, this was the main thing that City Park West neighbors and all of these neighbors in City Park South were talking about. What in the world do we have the signs up for? Can we take them down? Well, today, the signs are coming down. We are building a rec center, the first urban rec center in the state of Colorado, and this is exciting, so give it up. Councilwoman Robb, former Councilwoman Robb, is too kind. She actually did all the work. She is a fierce advocate, and in every meeting, she would have more details than the staff, and it is such an honor, and it was such an honor and privilege. It's not a knock against the staff, that's just, giving her some credit. I just want to give her a lot of love and credit, and give it up one more time for Councilwoman Robb, you guys. I know they've already been acknowledged, but the fact that our city council members are, my colleagues are here is huge. And one in particular, Councilwoman Knich, who helped vote to move this Tabor refund credit here to make sure that we could build this. And so, Councilwoman Knich, thank you. And the new council members, give it up for her. Come on. Councilman Espinoza, new, and Cashman, thank you so much for being here, and this is gonna be exciting to see this go. Councilman New, I'm excited to continue working with this to get people in here. Barker, Rinker, CCAT. I gotta tell you, our architects here, out of all of the public projects I've been a part of, I've never seen such an incredibly inclusive community project than this here. And this is an incredible project that they came up with. And so I want to thank you all so much with working with a constricted budget and also working with a community that had some different ideas. And I think you really encapsulated all of our ideas. And this is going to be a world-class facility. So give it up for Barker, Rinker, CCAT. Our stakeholder committee deserves really all of the credit. They really took our ideas and shaped it into their rec center, your rec center for Central Denver. And so they deserve a lot of credit. And I know I can't name everyone who's up here, but thank you so much for being here. The fact that you are here this morning shows your support for this amazing project. So thank you so much. Give it up for our stakeholder committee. And last but not least, I think I always say this, but nothing significant happens in this city without key collaboration. And from the city to neighborhoods to DPS, to all the private market, the industry, all came together to make this happen. And this is going to be a vibrant, inclusive, diverse facility, one of the best in the city. And I cannot wait to begin working out here. So let's get this thing going. And I want to thank, right now, I'm going to bring up our mayor, who, I'm going to be honest with you, Councilwoman Robb and I would come to the office thinking, okay, how are we going to get this thing built without any money? That's the reality. There was no money. But this mayor and his team came up with a very complex and innovative financing structure to make this thing a reality. And so without this mayor, without this administration, this would not happen. So let's give it up for our mayor, Michael B. Hancock.
All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Councilman Brooks, and to Councilman Brooks and former City Councilwoman Jeanne Robb. Congratulations to both of you. To Councilman New, you're being handed a baton to work with the rest of us to get this done and make sure we do it on time. All I can say is after almost 2 years, Councilwoman Robb, we're finally here. It's about time. I just asked the team, 2 months ago? I said, are we under construction yet at that center? And they said, well, we still got to do the groundbreaking set for November, but we're here. And that's the beauty of this opportunity here. Raise your hand if you haven't been acknowledged yet. I want to make sure we get everybody in the party here. Now, there are a couple folks that, quite frankly, I got to tell you, we would not be here without. I remember the day that I sat down with Kerry Kennedy and the budget and management team and said, let's find a way to build this rec center. And this is where the benefit of having been on city council comes into play, Councilwoman Robb. I encouraged them to take a look at Tabor rules and how we could replace buildings and use some of the cash that's sitting in Tabor to build this rec center. And within a few weeks, Kerry and her team came back and said, indeed, we can do this, Mayor. We have a path to fund the Central Denver Rec Center. And so, though we haven't acknowledged them, I want to take the time to acknowledge the budget and management office and all the key players, including Kerry Kennedy, our chief financial officer and deputy mayor. They include people like Bar Chadwick, Brendan Hanlon, who is our budget director, Laura Perry, and Gretchen Hollera. These are the folks, in addition to the entire office, and Kerry Kennedy's leadership stood up and came in and said, Mayor, here's the plan to build the Central Denver Rec Center. So if you're here, raise your hand. I haven't seen them. They're probably working and monitoring our money, but give it up for our budget management office team. Because we truly would not be here without them, as well as the leadership of Janice Sinnen and folks like Evan Dreyer and our city attorney, who make sure that everything is stamped and has the legal approval. So let's talk about what you're going to see here in about a year and a half. It's going to be truly a state-of-the-art facility. This will be Denver's largest community recreation facility with a unique design set for 4 stories. This will be Rec Center number 28 in the city's inventory. It will offer an 8-lane pool, a leisure pool for families, a large cardio weight room, full-size basketball court, that's so I can dunk on the governor, and diverse programming that promote healthy and active lifestyles. This facility will also include ample community gathering space to support a variety of neighborhood interests. Only steps from this great high school behind us, Happy Haynes, and City Park, the Central Denver Rec Center will become a prominent amenity with one of the most densely populated areas of the city. The new center will serve as yet another catalyst along the Colfax business corridor to help drive economic growth and promote a thriving cultural and residential area. Now, many of you might recall the old ugly gas station that stood here on this corner. Y'all remember that? Now I want you to imagine the new Carla Madison Rec Center right here on this corner. More active, more vibrant, and productive use of this corner. In many ways, this new recreation center represents what makes Denver great, right? It represents health and wellness, economic development, community, and innovation. So I want to thank everyone, whether your name was called from this podium or not. To all of the advisory members, to the PRAB members and their leadership, to the entire Parks and Recreation team, and let's thank Lori Dannemiller as well for the tremendous work she did to make sure we got to this point. To the new leader, Happy Haynes, to the City Council, the PRAB City Council, and this City Council. And as Councilman Brooks pointed out, well, also again, the budget management team. We also must thank, I think Happy said it, the people, the citizens of Denver who in 2007 voted to make this the most expensive dog park in the world, but who had the vision to say someday we must build a rec center on this corner. Congratulations to everyone, and let's turn some dirt.